Uh, Hello everyone, or the people who managed to find this new channel. Long story short, I got kicked out of my old channel due to something, but don't worry, got a new one, and and I am not going to stop that from continuing this series. But yeah, sorry if this stream is also a little late. I got back from a vacation recently, and I wanted to make sure I had everything ready, and the wiki was acting like shit earlier. But yeah, now we're going to talk about lost media that was found over the month of July 2025. And just a heads up, this week will be my last week of summer vacation. I'll be starting another semester of college, so be wary of that. But, anyways, let's look at what was found over the month. First up is Nigel Mansell World Championship for the Commodore 64. Just a heads up, there are going to be quite a few video games from the games that were found by a group known as Games That Weren't for this month, and here's the first one. This was a game that was based on the famous British Formula 1 driver Nigel Mansell. And while it did get released for a ton of consoles back in the day, the Commodore 64 never got one due to being canceled. Over the years, some were able to be found. However, it would be until July 1st of this year, when Games that weren't were able to get in contact with people who had the game and dumped it online. And now it's available to play. Next up, Frisia. One second. So, I'm pretty sure some of you guys know what Vocaloid is. It was a kind of thing that basically allowed you to make your own songs. It's also the software you probably recognize characters like Hatsune Miku and stuff. Well, this entry covers a particular song by a Vocaloid producer going by the name of Dr. Willie, or ex Dr. Willie as they now goes by. This song was originally his farewell song back in 2010. And was up for about a year and a half until sometime between mid-20 to early 2012. All of his accounts were deleted, which led to this song, as well as many others, to be lost. Over the years, some snippets of the song had been discovered, but it would be on July 2nd when Dr. Willie themselves came back to the internet and re-uploaded the song, albeit with a few updated touches. Next up, Ride to Hell Route 666. I'm sure most of video game nerds know what Ride to Hell Retribution was. A game back in 2013 that is generally regarded to be one of the worst video games of all time. Right. And this might have led to a canceled game that was meant for the Xbox 360. 60 Live Arcade. It was meant to be released, however, because of the game's terrible reception and likely abysmal sales, I think, the game Route 666 never saw the light of day. However, on Independence Day, users Chris and Ader, sorry if I mispronounced that, Devil Dwarf and Dusk were able to build the game from April 10th, 2013, and dumped it on hiddenpalace.org. And you can basically play the game. SpongeBob SquarePants 4D pre-show video. I'm sure as many Lost Media fans know, SpongeBob has probably some of the best Lost Media out there. And for those who don't know, and for those who remember, and if those who don't know what SpongeBob SquarePants 4D or SpongeBob SquarePants The Ride or SpongeBob SquarePants 3D, it was a motion simulator ride based on the popular Nickelodeon show released in 2003. Debuting in Flamingo Zord. It followed SpongeBob teaching the audience how to make a Krabby Patty before losing a pickle and going on a wild goose chase to find said pickle and finish making the Krabby Patty for a customer. Well received, and many memes spawned from it. What's less known, and like most other rides, this one had a little video that was played before you got on the ride. After the ride was closed, the video hadn't been seen. And while videos of the ride in motion are not hard to find, as I was able to find one not too long ago, the video, although there were some clips that would have been found, but finally on July 5th, it's after a user known as Green Thing_CTR announced that revealed that they had the full video from when they went on downloaded from an old YouTube video. It would later be received by YouTuber Lost Media Buster and would upload to their channel. Granted, the video is not in the best quality, but until we have a better quality one, this is the full footage, so this is technically considered found. Next up, Picasso Print Retrospective Exhibition Commercial. Now, the story about this find is actually pretty interesting. Back in 2011, a video of a commercial was uploaded to YouTube by a user known as Drafty0528. Was for a warmer brand called Danto, which is a Japanese and sold by Kincho, a Japanese insecticide manufacturer, which was actually the main focus of said video. But however, that's not what drew people's attention. After the commercial ended, a 2-second creepy and bizarre clip of a disjointed face was shown. This would later come back, and then over a decade later, in a commercial search thread on the anonymous message board. Five, a user asked for a search on the creepy that appeared after the commercial. After some searching, where on July 7th, a YouTube user named Kumamon uploaded a complete video of the face, which was later revealed to be Pablo of a found out to be the face of famous painter Pablo Picasso. This after the commercial was discovered on July 7th by a user named Kumamon. It was from a commercial for the Picasso Print Retrospective Exhibition, which was held at the Laforet Harajuku from December 6, 1983 to January 16, 1984. It just goes to show that lost media searches can end up in the weirdest places. Lomax, the Hound of Music, Purple Light. This was Lomax, the Hound of Music was a very short-lived puppet show that aired on PBS in 2008, created by Sirius Linking Ltd, the same guys behind Between the Lions. It was basically your typical children's puppet show fare at the time, and only lasted around just over 2 months in 2008 before being canceled due to production issues. While most of the shows were available, one episode in particular by the name of Purple Light which aired on October 20th, 2008. The plot was about the Melody Hound Express traveling out west, and where Lomax, the main character, tracking down a cowgirl singing to her horse. The rest of the episodes were uploaded by a YouTuber named Blot Games' YouTube channel. And the only clip from the episode that was able to be found was from the song Old Bell Cow. Over the years, clips were able to be found, with 2023 getting some big searches, but it wouldn't be until July 7th this year when YouTube user Rare Children's Stuff uploaded the full episode, and now it's available to watch. Family Guy, When You Wish Upon a Weinstein original draft. If you're a fan of Family Guy, you've probably heard of this infamous episode in which Peter getting an assistance from a Jewish accountant named Max Weinstein to help him retrieve money that he was conned out of. And from this comes to the conclusion to convert Chris to Judaism, thinking it will help the latter be more successful in life. It was supposed to be aired in 2000 until Fox declined against it because of them fearing that people will perceive this as being, offensive. Though eventually it did end up airing in Adult Swim in 2003 and later on Fox the next year. But what's not known is that the original version was shown in a table read. The Lost Media Wiki has what the original draft implied, so I won't dive too deep into that. However, after this version of this early draft was shown for a table read, it probably went poorly and was later scrapped and rewritten into the episode we know today. The full script was nowhere to be found, possibly because it was, only meant for a table read for the crew. However, in September of last year, a user named Random Viewer Guy, aka Gold S_TCRF, revealed in a forum he had a copy of the scrap version of the episode, which he planned to scan sometime in the future. And finally, on July 9th, he eventually uploaded the full script onto the Internet Archive and is now available to read. Drop Zone was an unreleased U.S. prototype of a that was supposed to be released at least sometime in the early 90s, but was never done so. It seemed to be some sort of generic platform game from the screenshots I've seen. I'm not able to find much info about this, so sorry. But eventually, thanks to help from thanks to people at the Video Game History Foundation and an anonymous donor, a prototype of the U.S. version of Drop Zone was able to get contact and was eventually dumped online on July 11th. Fist of the North Star, uncensored version. Oh boy, this one's pretty fun. So Fist of the North Star is a very popular anime film, and some people might recognize this anime note for the popular meme "Omae wa Mushinderu." Yeah. It was created as a tie-in for the 1984 adaptation, and is probably known as one of the most violent animes of all time. Unlike its TV counterpart, the violence was so good, but the film would be subject to very harsh censorship, allowing it to be hardly censored. How graphic was this movie, you ask? Well, the animators went so far as to study the human body to get all the graphic violence just perfect. After the censored version was released, the uncensored cut went hard for some time. It's been sought after for so many years. But however, thankfully, on July 13th, anime restoration group Kineko Video started to release clips of the uncensored scenes from the Fist of the North Star movie. In the description of the Internet Archive page, they explained they got permission to share the shots with the owner of the print, but they're not allowed to share any more beyond what was previously lost. So yeah, most of what was lost found. But we now basically have the full uncensored cut of the movie. I hope y'all are happy, anime fans. I know Sakura Stardust might be. Peg plus Cat pilot. Dang, 2025 must be the year for lost pilots. Here we have another one from a popular kids show. Anyway, Peg plus Cat was an animated series that aired on PBS Kids from 2013 to 2018, being developed by the Fred Rogers Company. The show is about a young girl named Peg and her talking cat named, Cat, that speaks to young viewers on how to help solve various math problems throughout each episode. So yeah, anyways, in 2011, a pilot was made and uploaded to the PBS Kids website to help get viewers' feedback on the show. Its plot was similar to the book The Chicken Problem, which was released a year later. After feedback that was received was positive, the show was greenlit, and then the pilot got taken down, probably because PBS didn't need a use for it anymore, as they got the show greenlit. The only footage of the pilot came from an animation reel made by Jane Nekayevsky. Apologies if I mispronounced that too, who was one animator of the show. In August 2017, another animator for the show, Christopher Jamal, uploaded the pilot's storyboard onto his Vimeo account, giving us more of what this episode could have been. Finally, on July 24th, the pilot was eventually found on the Vimeo account of series producer Jacqueline Demas. It's been uploaded It was apparently uploaded about a year ago in July 2024, meaning it went unnoticed for a whole year. And finally, one more thing. Eddie Retractor Head. Mamba, if you see this one's for you. Anyways, Eddie Retractor Head was in a series of animated shorts that aired on the UK version of Nickelodeon in 2008, produced by Cosgrove Hall, the guy behind popular British cartoons such as Danger Mouse and Count Duckula. It's about a blob of mucus named Eddie who was created by falling from space and landing on a tractor and a pie, who lives in an inflatable pie house at Area 52 with his friend with an orange blob named Blam Blob, where they go on many misadventures while meeting other weird characters along the way. So if you don't know, the UK took a lot longer than the States to get rid of the gross out trend. And as you could tell if you've watched one episode short, the series thrived on stupid and random humor. But thankfully for you guys, the episodes are only a minute long, which is probably the best thing you could do for this show. Until this month, July, 6 of the 10 shorts were found. The one being found more recently was in 2022 when the short Olympics was uploaded by YouTuber Lucas Archive. Finally, on July 31st, the whole series was uploaded by Internet Archive user Jordan Wright 256, which was sourced from a CD sent to him by series director John Flynn. And that was July 2025. As we head into the school year, we're going to see what the rest of the year has. We still got 5 months left. I hope we get a lot good. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and sorry for the inconvenience. Hope you like the new channel. Subscribe if you haven't. Be sure to notify whenever I do upload. But anyway, thank you for watching. And keep searching for Lost Media. Bye!